I want to talk about a phenomenon that happens in video games. And I'm not just talking about EVE Online here, I'm talking about video games in general. Sometimes, when you're playing a game, you get your hands on an amazing item, an amazing, perfect, single-use item. Whether we're talking about the Master Ball in a Pokemon game, or you're playing an RPG and you get a potion that like triples your damage and makes you invulnerable. But once you use it, it's gone. So you don't just pop that thing off in the very next fight that happens. You put it in your back pocket and say to yourself, I'm gonna save this until I really need it. And we've probably all had the experience, I know I have, where you've been saving that great item for so long through the whole game. And you get to the final boss and you're like, man, this is tough. Maybe I should use it. Or maybe I should hold on to it just a little bit longer. Then the credits roll and that potion never got drank. Well, we're at the final boss pretty much of Bill's adventure, and he's not holding on to his potions any longer.
This is Bill. Bill wants to build a Cynabal and join the Angel Cartel cause in Zarzak, but he's not making it easy on himself.
We have 7 Tech 2 200mm autocannons. These are spoils of war from Angelica's rampage through the war zone. We also have, on Ramiel, a micro-warp drive and 2 stasis webifiers, as well as an armor rep in the low, so we have some sort of tank. This is pretty obviously a strong PvE setup. Against an NPC, we can get into our optimal range quickly, hold them there, and just unleash Hell's Fury with a full rack of autocannons. And we also have enough tank to stay on grid against an NPC level of damage. What's maybe less obvious is that this fit also has serious teeth if we find ourselves in a PvP situation. We don't have a scram or a point, but we've got a lot of DPS, and someone who finds themselves fighting Ramiel may not realize they can warp away until it's too late. And 2 webs means that we can pretty much reduce anything's speed to practically 0 and apply full damage with our autocannons, whether they are in close trying to orbit or whether they're trying to pull out to the edge of scram range. The Thrasher has a range bonus, and we even have ourselves some barrage ammo. So we have no problem hitting things out at 10, 11 kilometers. If they do pull out of our web range and try and kite us, something like a slicer, the fact that we can heat our webs and heat our MWD makes us very dangerous. This is a hard ship to try to kite effectively. And what's more, with this Dead Space NOS that we have in the high slot, this A-type small energy Nosferatu, we can actually permanently run our Corelli A-type small armor repair if the micro-warp drives off. We have really strong staying power. A heated Corelli A-type small armor rep repairs about as much damage as an ancillary armor repairer, but it never runs out of charges. There are lots of things we could end up fighting, particularly small gangs where Ramiel will just die. But in a 1v1 situation, Ramiel's really gonna surprise people and punch above his weight. And anyways, we are taking all of the risks. We are done playing it safe. We need to get ourselves 57,000 Malcolm Zealots LP, of which we currently have 5,000. Those other 52k, they are waiting for us in the Insurgency zone, where PvP is a thing that might happen, and we're not gonna shy away from it. All we gotta do is make our way over there. Now, unfortunately, the in-game Insurgency map is completely unreadable. I don't even know what I'm looking at here. Thankfully, we can just set our destination to the Malcolm Zealots forward operating base in the heart of the Insurgency, and one way or another, I'm sure we're gonna find our content on the way there. Let's go. Okay, so I've mentioned insurgencies a bunch of times, but never really talked about what they are. Insurgencies are special areas of LowSec, a cluster of systems within faction warfare space that are under attack by the Angel Cartel or the Gueristas. What this means is that special complexes spawn there that the Angel Cartels can try and take to increase corruption in the system, the Angel Cartel influence, or the Empire factions that are at war with the Angel Cartel, the Amar and the Mimitar, can also run these complexes to try and suppress the Angel Cartel influence. These systems have lots of interesting stuff going on in them depending on the level of corruption and suppression. Notably, there can be special NPCs, there can be different kinds of special anomalies, but also if the corruption gets high enough, you can use interdictor and heavy interdictor bubbles in LowSec. So the PvP in these systems can get pretty intense. I have not spent a lot of time on any character engaging with this insurgency gameplay. I checked it out when it was first introduced, but really we're heading into somewhat unknown territory for me here, so this should be an adventure. Here we are in Sosala. This system is affected by Angel Cartel insurgency, and you can see Angel open outpost, Angel medium outpost, Angel small outpost. That is what we're looking for, and there is a ton of stuff on D-Scan. It seems like we've got more war targets in system here than we do Angel Cartel friendlies. So we're going to be keeping an eye on D-Scan. There is a Thrasher inside this small outpost. This is the moment of truth. Do we slide? I think we slide. All right, he's friendly. Does not necessarily mean he won't shoot me. We may have been a bit of a jerk here because this complex only has 50 seconds left on it. This guy is targeting me. He may be a little angry. Is he going to shoot? Not shooting me yet. Now, sliding at the last second and getting on someone's complex capture is generally seen as, you know, not the friendliest thing to do. But there we go, 13,000 loyalty points. Totally worth it. Sorry, my friend. I have a Cynabal to build. Now he's shooting me. But there's no reason for me to stay on grid any longer. That was pretty straightforward. Now, is there another Angel Small? There are also Minmatar. There are also like regular faction warfare complexes in these systems. We could go try and pick a fight with this Algos, but really we are here for a purpose. So let's see. Do we want to try an Angel Medium? I'm a little concerned that the Angel Medium may actually have NPCs that we can't reasonably handle. I'd rather try bouncing to another system at first and see if we can't find another Spall, just to make sure that we can handle the NPCs in there, because the way that we totally stole the LP in that one site, what's known as seagulling, means that we didn't actually have to test ourselves against the NPCs at all. And I'd like to test myself against the small, complex NPCs before trying a medium. I don't see any new Angel Smalls ready to be opened on the anomaly list. Almost 19,000 Malcolm Zealot's loyalty points now. even if we did it in not the most ethical way possible. I'm popping over to Uasanan. Only 4 people in local, but no small complexes. I might come back here and try one of the mediums if we don't find a small in Ayesa. We're being warned that Ayesa allows for bubbles, but that's not scaring us away. No bubble on the gate. There is an Angel small outpost that is not on the overview, but is on the anomaly list, which means no one's warped to it yet. So we have a chance to see if we're actually capable of running one properly rather than stealing it from another poor militia mate. Okay, there's NPCs here who are not showing up on my overview because they're a new type. But there we go. We have to kill these Mordu's guys before the timer will start ticking down. They are dying pretty fast though. Okay, these smalls do not seem to be a problem for Ramiel, the Tech 2 and Dead Space Thrasher. They're not even scratching our shields at this point. There's also multiple Angel NPCs here who will not shoot us. The Angel NPCs would have to be killed if a Mimitar or a Mar faction warfare member came in here to try and claim this site for the Empire militias to suppress the Angel Cartel influence. Now that there's no more Mordu's NPCs on grid, you'll see the timer on the complex beacon is ticking down. In 9 minutes and 40 seconds, this site will be ours. And we should get basically the same amount of loyalty points that the other site gave, except we should get actually twice as many, because this site says Angel Small Outpost Advanced 1, which means that the loyalty point reward scales to 1 player, and if there's more than 1 player in it, the loyalty points get split evenly between them when the site is finished. So that guy was not impressed with us over in Sosala because he'd been in the site for 9 minutes, killed the NPCs, and then we slid in and stayed for 50 seconds and got half of his LP, reducing the amount of LP that he got by half. The same thing might happen to us here. I'm not going to shoot a member of the Angel Militia who warps in on me, but I will be aware that if a friendly does warp in on me with 1 minute left, they might shoot me, because if they kill me, even if I did the bulk of the site, that would mean that they get the entire LP payout for themselves. So it is unfortunate. The current mechanics of the Insurgency system do kind of incentivize Angel on Angel violence. I think there's ways they could have designed this a little bit better, but it is the way it is. And though we're not taking first shots at anyone who's in our militia, we have to be aware that that purple icon next to someone's name doesn't necessarily mean they're not going to shoot us. I do believe that more NPCs are going to spawn while we're in here. We'll probably have to kill several waves, and each time a new group of NPCs spawns, this timer will pause until we've killed them. So we're pound and descan, watching for players to come in, and we also need to be ready to shoot more Mordu's frigates at a moment's notice. There's the NPCs. Mordu's Shackle Garmer, Mordos Van Brace Garmer. No problem. And the timer's ticking down once again. Not sure if I want to fight a Dragoon. That is a drone boat that also is bonus for newts, which means they could probably turn off my armor rep even through my NOS. We're gonna see if he slides and he's an Angel Cartel. Oh, he's going away. Okay. I was gonna say, if he's Angel Cartel, I'll happily share the site with him. But he saw me inside and he wasn't interested. And here's some more NPCs. And 3 minutes, 48 seconds left on the timer. Minute 30 left on the timer, and we have another NPC spawn. This is probably the last of them. Should be the last wave. If we kill these guys, I can't imagine that another wave's gonna spawn in less than a minute and a half. So let's deal with them as quickly as we can. While D-scan is still clear. One minute and 10 seconds left. And then all of the loyalty points will be ours. This is about the point over in Sosala where I slid in on that guy and the other Thrasher. So if someone slides in on me now, I really can't reasonably complain about it at all. But I would prefer to get all of those loyalty points for myself. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, 46,000 loyalty points in total now. How many did we just get? 27,500 loyalty points for 10 minutes of our time. One more site and we're done. I can't. Well, I was saying before that you can get loyalty points by killing people. You can get loyalty points from PvP, and I was acknowledging when I was flying around in Angelica that probably that wasn't the fastest way to get loyalty points. Well, my goodness. It really is not the fastest way to get loyalty points. Wow, that was huge. I'm kind of tempted to go back to USN and try one of those mediums, because the NPCs in the smalls were not difficult at all. Is there an Angel Medium here I could try? Angel Medium Outpost. Let's give it a shot. We seem way over-equipped for the smalls. We don't really need the added loyalty point payout that would come from a medium. But there's nobody in here. Let's just give it a shot. Although, I mean, I'm sure it's possible that the NPCs in here scram and I don't know it, and this could be the end of our Thrasher. They are destroyers. All right. Let's see what the damage on these guys is like. They use Jackdaw model. Well, we're cutting through them pretty fast. They aren't even shooting us back yet. Oh, there we go. Light missile from Morty's Vambrace. And again, barely scratched our tank. Okay, the timer on this site is 15 minutes. However, this site also... Oh, it's only a one-person site as well. I was going to say, I thought the mediums usually allowed 5, but I guess there are 1s as well as 5s. So if someone slides in on us here, we also run the risk that they might shoot us to try and claim it all for themselves. But nobody interrupted us in our 10 minutes in the small. So let's see if we can't get 15 minutes of peace in the medium. More NPCs. And you can see that the Angel NPCs are actually helping us out here. Fun little battle going on. Let's hope that no players slide in while I've got the UI off. Panic down. On to the next one. T-scan still clear. Shield still holding tight. We haven't needed our NOS or our armor rep, or for that matter, our damage control yet. We could have gone dual gyro stabilizer. But when we were potentially fighting that Thrasher, and when there was a Dragoon potentially sliding in on us, I was glad that we had some tank. And with the Dragoon especially, I was glad that we had a NOS. Even though it hasn't actually come to blows yet. That Thrasher did shoot at us. He did shoot at us, but I don't think he ever even did a single point of damage to us. Now where's our timer? 11 minutes, 40 seconds, and counting. We tick past 10 minutes, and here's another wave. The Meku Ball. These NPCs are flying Meku Balls, which is the pretty cool, like, Tristan-looking Angel Cartel destroyer. One ship class below the Cynabal of our dreams. I've never actually flown a Meku Ball. I keep meaning to buy one on my main. They seem pretty badass, to be honest. And again, the Thrasher, also pretty badass. 8 minutes and 18 seconds to go. Oh, finally, one of them warp disrupted me. This Mordu Shackle Fennec has pointed me, but doesn't really matter when he dies that fast. That's why I was killing the guys named Shackle first, because often NPC names in sites like these will give you a hint as to what kind of E-War they have, or otherwise what their fit looks like. And I was like, if anyone's gonna point me, it's gonna be the guy named Shackle. And I was right. I am not sure what Vambrace means, so I don't know what kind of hint that is. I am a tournament level Scrabble player, by the way, and a writer by trade. So I'm gonna go ahead and say that Vambrace is a pretty obscure word, and someone at the CCP office was breaking out the thesaurus because I've never heard that word before. And I don't think it's in common usage. Maybe in Icelandic English it is. 3 minutes and 7 seconds. We might face one more wave. Could be at most one more. So really it's D-scan that's going to determine whether or not we get the LP from this site. Dictionary.com says vambrace, noun, a piece of plate armor for the forearm. So I guess those vambrace fennecs are probably a little bit tankier than average. And all you have to do is know medieval armorer's jargon to figure it out. I'm gonna kill this shackle first. Although, whether he points us or not, we are not going anywhere with this site that close to being done. You can see this other NPC is already taking some damage because the Angel Meku balls are helping us out here. Although their DPS pales beside Ramiel's. 7 Tech 2 200mm autocannons it's a real treat. It is a real treat to be flying with this full rack of Tech 2 guns after everything that Bill's been through. Well, let me tell you. This feels like coming home. Although even Tech 2 guns periodically have to reload. 55 seconds remaining. 10 seconds. We have 46,000 Malcolm Zealots LP. 3, 2, 1. 85,940. We got 40,000 LP just from that one site. We're done. We're done. Our LP is in the bag. 57,000 Angel Cartel LP. Bam. But it's not really the LP that we need. We need to spend those LP on AngelNet resonators. And I know just where to do that. It is time to actually go to Tanakan. Now, all of those enemy coercers have just landed with us. We can jump through. Coercers are not known for their ability to tackle. If they try and go for some on the other side of the gate, we should be able to burn back to gate without trouble. Now, the actual forward operating base is, again, not in any of our tabs. It is frustrating. It's so frustrating that CCP adds all these important things to the game and then doesn't prompt you to add them to your overview. So you can just be flying around and not even know that there's a very important Angel Cartel station in system unless you've delved into the overview settings and added it on your own. But here it is. The forward operating base of the Malachim Zealots. And that is a shipcaster connecting to Zarzak. Zarzak is our destiny, but it's not our destination just yet. Look at this. Angel Cartel, livery everywhere. The Deathless himself looking over us in hologram form. And the Malachim Zealots loyalty point store. We would like some net resonators. I need 57 of these, please. It's gonna cost me 57,000 loyalty points and 57 million ISK. Bam! Oh man, this episode was a lot more straightforward than I thought it was gonna be. That's it. Look at this. Look at this. We have everything. There are no materials left on our list. We have everything that we need to build a Cynabal. This is a red letter day. Now we do have to get these AngelNet resonators back to Amamake, of course. So let's make some plans around that. Oh, and also, we still have 28,000 Angel Cartel loyalty points. What, pray tell, should we spend those on? We could buy another Cynabal blueprint copy. This is very interesting. We probably will buy a couple of implants just to totally maximize the value of our kill mail when we finally get potted. Okay, so it's occurred to me that I don't actually need to get these net resonators to Amamake. I need to get them to Menard, where my Cynabal blueprint copy is, because the net resonators aren't actually used in the building of any of the components. They're used in the building of the Cynabal itself. So given that moving them is so high risk, there's no need to move them and then move them again. But I don't want to necessarily leave them in the forward operating base, because when the Insurgency ends, the forward operating base will undeploy and move to some other area of space. So I'm going to see if I can't just safely drop these off in the NPC station, and then I'll come back later in Aaron the Atron and pick them up when it's time to actually build the Cynabal. There we go, Angel Net Resonators, safe and secure in Tanakan Station, where we also for some reason have 45 heavy water sitting around. It's been so long since we did our ice mining, I can't even remember. I guess we did some ice mining here in Tanakan. Now, with Romuel, we do want to fly back to Amamake in order to, you know, make some plans for the next final stage of our adventure. Oh, there's an Algos. There's an Algos and a capsule in the Mimitar Small Advanced here. We haven't seen what Romuel can do in a PvP situation yet, and I can't help myself. Here we go. The Algos left. Only a capsule remains. Valid war target, though. There's a Thrasher inside this Mimitar Small complex. I confess I am curious to see what Romuel can do if his PvP claws are unsheathed. Uh-oh. I think this is not going to go well for us. Oh well. So long, Romuel. It was fun. That was not much of a fight. The medium shield extender helps a lot there. That was a very straightforward DPS brawl. Just head-to-head, 200 mil against 200 mil. We were both in optimal range. We were both just doing as much damage as we could. And I was doing more damage than he was with every shot. 605 versus 290. But it didn't matter. He had the medium shield extender for buffer tank, and I was relying on an active tank. And even a dead space active tank is just not going to cut it when you're facing down 500 DPS. For the record, do not do that. Just yeeting yourself into a mirror matchup with zero tricks up your sleeve, just rolling the dice and seeing whose DPS is a higher ratio of whose tank. That's not how you win fights. That is the antithesis of everything I was trying to teach you in those slasher videos. But, I mean, the blessing and the curse of this series is that every dumb thing I do is recorded for posterity. And sometimes you just want to gamble. So why, you might reasonably ask, would I be so reckless? Why am I just flying into a fight and running a probable coin flip with my 7 200mm autocannons, my Dead Space NOS, my Dead Space AAR, my Damage Control 2, things that are hard or impossible for me to replace at this point. The reason is, none of this matters. All of my worldly concerns are dropping away in the face of this. I've got everything I need. If I open up my industry window, there's my Neuralink conduits, put up some check marks. All I've got to do is build the auto integrity preservation seals, and I'm pretty sure I can buy that blueprint right here in station. Auto integrity preservation seal blueprint, 150 million ISK. And then I also need to build life support backup units. And I can buy that blueprint also right here in the Amamake 4 Republic Fleet Assembly Plant. Life support backup unit blueprint, 150 million ISK, which I don't have. We're gonna grind out 100 million ISK in a single nullsec catalyst routing episode, and I'm gonna stream the whole thing. I've not done any streaming before, but for this, I want to give everyone a chance to come and watch me do it in real time. If you want to chat, if you want to ask me questions, I'll be live right there at your service. So if you haven't joined the Tabernouche Interplanetary Discord yet, now's the time to do it. I'm going to be streaming this 100 million ISK grind on Discord in the coming weeks. So join the server and keep an eye out for when I post. I'll post a day or two in advance before that stream goes live. And once we've got our hands on that last 107 million ISK, we're building a Cynabal.